Welcome back to the workshop where we're still working on the Gremlin build, and the update for this week mainly takes part up front and under the hood. So I think we go ahead and get the hood up and we'll take a look inside and see what we got done this week. With the hood propped open, we can go ahead and take a look inside or underneath the hood here. And you can see there's actually a lot less that we can see now because we built in, and this is actually what we did yesterday, we built in a tray or a front tray, I guess you would call it, right up here in front of the radiator support. But we started the week by building a fan shroud with fans up behind the radiator, so between the motor and the radiator. And that pretty well, as you can see, hides our servo. Right underneath here is our servo. If I pop this out, because I haven't actually glued it in yet, you can see that it's notched where it fits right around the servo, and it actually fits over top of the servo wires, just like that. And really hides the servo, so it really makes it disappear, and I just knocked the hood down. But we can also see, like I said, we built in a front tray here, so we can't really see what's going on down there. So what I say we do now, let's go ahead and pull the body off, and we'll look at the rest of the work we've done this week. All right, I've got the body out of the way, so now we can't knock the hood closed or anything like that. We can take a good look at what we've got going on here. Again, if I kind of step around a little bit, you can see how the fans and the fan shroud really hide that servo back there. So that's how we started off the week. But then I wanted to add a little bit more detail up front of the radiator, where when we look through the grill, we'll have a little bit more detail. We can barely see through. Here's the mock-up of the grill we're going to be using that you can barely see through. I mean, you're just going to see little bits of stuff. But I wanted a little more detail, so I added an oil cooler, which we'll actually end up adding some hoses to later that'll go this way. And then this is just temporarily taped on here. Let me move it out of the way. We also put in some radiator supports. I don't know if you can see them here. Basically, it's just some angled styrene I put together, and then a bar across. I'll probably add an angle iron to this too, just to give a little extra detail that holds this oil cooler. But during the updates during the week, I had a good viewer actually kind of call me out a little bit, and it's RY guy or Rye guy. I don't know. I hope I'm saying it right. But he's like, you should go ahead and just build in a full core support. And I completely agreed. And he actually apologized for that. But guys, if you see me trying to cut a corner or you see something that I should be doing, please leave those comments down below. Let me know. Hey, instead of just doing radiator supports and then putting marker lights attached to it, build in a full core support. So that's what we actually started doing this week. If I put the core support back up here, you can see now we've got our marker lights. These are the marker lights that used to be, here we go. Here's the original grill. If I can grab it. These are the marker lights that used to sit in the grill that are now going to sit behind the grill in a full core support for the radiator. And you can see I made a little housing here just to give a detail. We'll be putting in an amber LED right here but this is the housing, and that'll be our marker lights behind the grills. And then I went ahead and started adding more detail to the motor side, just basically adding like these strengthening ribs, this kind of stuff, and just layering some styrene just to give some depth. But basically I wanted to add this detail on the back side or the motor side, because this front side you're really not going to actually see, but the motor side, when you have the hood up, you can actually see that a little bit. In fact, we'll get this all put back together. I'll get the hood raised back up and we'll look at it from this side. You'll see what I'm talking about, that we will actually see some details on that back side. But anyways, that's basically what we've got done this week, along with building in that shelf up front here. I wanted to go ahead and get that in. And to do these things, I also wanted to mention, just use your cardstock is the best way. I know a lot of you guys ask, well, what's the best way to attack these projects? Start with cardstock. This is cardboard. You can see it's just cardstock. And I just start by working out shapes out of the cardstock, and this is actually for this platform here. It's because I needed the shape of, you can see it has to follow the shape of the body here. So I just worked that out in cardstock first, then cut it in the styrene. Basically, I left it a little long, glued it in, and then just trimmed down to match this back shape. In fact, let me flip over the body and you can see it a little better. There it is actually glued in. There we go. There you can see that, hopefully. But basically just using that cardstock to get the shape. Same thing with the core supports to work out these shapes. I worked out that I needed some notches here so I can actually get the body on, that kind of stuff. But you can do that all in cardstock before you start cutting styrene. Anyways, let me get this put back together. I'll get the body back on. We'll flip it around and we'll take a look inside the engine bay, kind of see where we're at. Then we'll talk about what's coming up next week. From this angle, you can kind of see what we're working with here, or kind of where we're at now. You can tell, or you can see, and this is the best angle you're going to get to look up front from under the hood, and you can't even see the servo. It's like the servo is no longer there, even though of course we know it is. Sans that blue tape that's holding the core support in right now, because I haven't finalized it and glued it in. I think everything's going to just kind of disappear and look very scale. In fact, where that blue tape is here, this is probably where a battery tray is going to end up. And there'll be a battery sitting right here. We're also going to add, should probably mention up front here, like a hood latch here. So to add in the little detail of the hood latch here, probably some hood stops, probably right here on the core support. We'll put in some of the little decals. We'll make up some little decals that are, the safety decals and stuff you'll find underneath of hoods. And then we're also going to have to start, let me flip this back around and I'll open the hood back up for us. I figure we can just go ahead and finish under the hood here. Let me get my hood prop out. In fact, that's something I've also thought about building for this, is a fold-up hood holder. I don't know what you call it, one of the rods that hold the hood up, so that we have something that actually holds the hood that's scale and looks right. So I might try putting one of those together. We also need to get in the firewall and then, of course, the fender wells. And that'll pretty much get us close to having the under the hood finished out. Basically, we'll just need a firewall with all the stuff that'll go on the firewall, like a brake booster and master cylinder and all that. Fender wells, and then we'll probably have some hosing, some brake lines, and some wiring or whatever running down the fender wells. But that'll pretty well finish out under the hood once we get it painted. So I think we'll just continue finishing out under the hood here. I think that's going to be a good game plan. Get it finished. I want to get back to work on the back side too, with hinging the back, that back hatch. I've got some hinges I've got coming in for that. We can't use these big hinges like I used on the hood. So I've got some little smaller hinges that we're going to be using for that to get that done. But anyways, I think we'll start finishing up under the hood here. Let me know what you think so far down below. Again, if there's something you see that I should probably be doing differently, or maybe something that's really standing out that doesn't look exactly right, let me know down in the comments. Also, if you want to keep up with these builds throughout the week, hit the subscribe button and that notification button, because I'm putting out at least one short a day updating what we've done for that day. I think I'm going to be trying to do more like 2 or 3 updates throughout the day, just to give more updates instead of one, trying to cram everything into one minute short. Maybe I'll do multiple shorts throughout the day. I think that might be a little easier. But anyways, if you want to keep up with those, hit that subscribe button down there. Hit the like button. It really does help, guys. Link down in the description for your star bond. I got to finish wrapping a little bit up here, and I have got to get this work table cleaned up. It has become a disaster while working on the Gremlin build, and I think it's about time I get all this cleaned up. I got to get that done. I got to get this edited for you guys. So I'll see you Monday. Bye-bye.